Started, and this is the third time this beautiful city has hosted the All-Star Game. First time it'll be in Truist Park, and with it being 7,000 degrees outside, I think this is going to be the best All-Star week of all time. Tonight's home run derby is going to be one that they're going to talk about for the next 500 years. The starting pitchers for these All-Star games are going to put on a performance that they'll talk about whenever my great-great-great-grandkids are roaming this glorious earth. And it is my honor to be the host of this particular press conference. We'll get to your questions at some point. Cannot wait to hear them. Make them good, because we got living legends with us. On that note, allow me to introduce the four men that you see sitting on this stage, the four men that are going to set the tone for this entire All-Star week. To my right, living legend, World Series champion, manager of the NL All-Star team. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, skipper Dave Roberts. Good to see you, buddy. No pop from the media. Unbelievable. Sitting next to him is the starting pitcher for the National League. He's the first ever Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher to be the starter in the All-Star game in back-to-back years. He's the 10th ever NL pitcher to start back-to-back years. He's the savior of Pittsburgh 3-4 years from now. Handsome LSU national champion Paul Skenes is here. Hey, babe, Paul. Way to go, Paul. And to my left, ladies and gentlemen, he has one of the hardest jobs in sports. He's the manager of the Pinstripes. He's a man who my friend Ty Schmidt literally lives and dies with every single day. The AL manager, ladies and gentlemen, Skip Aaron Boone. A little bit more clap for you. A little bit more clap for you. And a man who I was just speaking to a little bit ago is built perfectly for the position in which he plays. In his uniform, he looks fantastic. When he pitches, he has filthy moxie. Ladies and gentlemen, saving the city of Detroit, pitcher Tarik Skubal. Good work, buddy. Now, to get this thing started, I believe we need the starting lineups. We will start first with the National League with Skipper Roberts.
All right, for the National League, obviously, Pat mentioned Paul Skenes is going to be our starter. Leading off, designated hitter Shohei Ohtani. Batting second, playing left field, Atlanta's own Ronald Acuna Jr. Batting third, playing second base, Ketel Marte from Arizona. Batting fourth, playing first base, making a little homecoming, Freddie Freeman. Batting fifth, playing third base from San Diego, Manny Machado. Batting sixth, doing the catching from Los Angeles, Will Smith. Batting seventh, playing right field, Chicago Cubs, Kyle Tucker. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, switch bat from the Mets, Francisco Lindor. And batting ninth, making his first All-Star appearance, roaming center field, Pete Crow Armstrong from the Chicago Cubs.
Okay, a lot of tough decisions there. And thank you for making those hard decisions, including the starting pitcher. Paul Skenes will be on the mound. Why was that the case for the National League?
I think for me it was easy, in the sense of obviously what Paul's done with performance should override and supersede anything, which he's done that. I think that when you're talking about the game where it's at, these two guys on stage with me, along with myself and Aaron, are guys that you can root for, are super talented, are going to be the faces of this game for years to come. And so for me to have Paul represent the National League, and as you said, Pat, the first and only Pirates pitcher to ever do that in back-to-back games, All-Star games, unprecedented, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does it next year as well. But it's an honor to have him toe the rubber for the National League.
Hell yeah, I cannot wait to watch. Thank you for what you're doing for Pittsburgh, Paul. And I know this is like the event that you look forward to most, Paul. You say, give me the most amount of cameras, the most amount of lights, and the most amount of microphones, and that is exactly where I want to be. So thank you for coming out to this moment here, this press conference. But if you could, in a very uncomfortable way, I assume, because you hate compliments, could you talk about being named the starter for the All-Star team for the second straight year and what that means to you?
Yeah, it's a huge honor. So thank you, Doc, for giving that to me. It's the All-Star game is something that I think for myself, I was lucky enough to do it last year. I don't imagine a scenario where I would turn down starting the All-Star game. And it's just such a huge honor to be on this stage and play with all these unbelievable players. Some of them that I've watched for years, and to be able to share a field with them is an awesome experience. So great to be back.
We're thankful and lucky you're here, brother. And great answer there. Nailed it. Now we must go to the American League. Manager Boone, will you please reveal your starting lineup, please?
I will. We're going to lead off with Gleyber Torres of the Detroit Tigers. He's had an outstanding year for what's been the best record in the American League so far, the Detroit Tigers, and he's been a tone setter for them at the top, getting on base at an amazing clip. Riley Green, another young star for the Tigers. He'll bat second in left field. Our captain in New York, the reigning MVP, Aaron Judge, will bat third and play right field. Cal Raleigh will catch and bat fourth, obviously in the middle of an amazing season. 38 home runs for a catcher in the first half of the season is hard to fathom. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., one of the game's feared hitters and becoming a regular at this event every single year, will be batting fifth and playing first base. Ryan O'Hearn will be our DH and batting sixth. He's put together now a couple really outstanding seasons with the Baltimore Orioles. Junior Caminero, the young slugger for the Tampa Bay Rays, will bat seventh and play third base for us. Javier Baez, in the middle of a resurgent season, has really just done really remarkable things this year, considering some tough seasons he's come off, playing center field from the Detroit Tigers and batting ninth with his .332 batting average, and his outstanding defensive shortstop is the young Jacob Wilson. So really excited to go at it with these guys tomorrow night, and obviously to be able to give the ball to Tarik Skubal, one of the game's true aces, coming off a Cy Young season last year, and then just continuing that dominance in the first half of the season. 10-1 strikeout to walk ratio. 152 strikeouts now, 16 walks. Two things really hard to wrap your head around, but I think just speaks to his not only ability to command the baseball, but to do it in a dominant fashion. I can't wait to see him go get us off on a good note tomorrow night. But excited to go at it with this group tomorrow night and do it in Hotlanta.
Hell yeah. And Tarik, reigning Cy Young, and you're the first Tigers pitcher to start in the All-Star game in 12 years. I have a friend, Evan Fox, who loves the Tigers from the Michigan area. Obviously, there's been a few runs, but you put them back on the map, put them on your back, literally and figuratively. How does it feel to do that for like a city like Detroit? And do you think this is, or why do you think this is your best stuff right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take credit for what our team's been able to do. We've got a great roster. Obviously, we're pretty well represented at this game, so I think it speaks to a lot of guys in the room. I just play my role, which is pitch, and it's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to have the trust of those guys in the clubhouse that every time I go out, they think we're going to win. I think that's probably the coolest thing about all this.
What are your thoughts on the All-Star game as a whole? Obviously, it's a very storied thing in this world, but in sports as a whole, the Midsummer Classic is wonderful. What are your thoughts on this week and what it means for baseball?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a ton of fun. I mean, anytime you get to be in a clubhouse with the game's best and go against, the game's best on the other side, it makes for a great product, and I hope the fans appreciate that this really is the game's best players, and it's an honor to share the room with them.
Yeah, and in baseball, you have to throw strikes.
No doubt.
Like, you can't just, not tackle somebody. Like, you have to do it.
Yeah, no doubt.
You can get smoked out there, boys, both of you. All right. Let's get some questions from actual baseball people. Let's make this a productive press conference. I assume they are going to be fantastic questions. We'll start down here, lower left.
This question's for you, Tarik. Do you anticipate bringing your emotion and stuff to the game tomorrow? I know you're an emotional player, so how are you going to bring that to the All-Star stage?
Yeah, I plan to have a ton of fun. I'm going to go out there and compete. Anytime you get to toe the rubber and the guys in the other box are the game's best, it's going to bring out the best in you. So I'm excited for the opportunity.
Question for Dave. A few days ago when Jacob Mizrachi was named an All-Star, there was a lot of pushback. As someone who's managed quite a few of these in the last few years, is there something that needs to change with the process in terms of getting pitchers to commit or naming All-Stars?
This is a great question. I think it's a deeper conversation. I think that obviously there's a lot of things in baseball. We've evolved as far as rules and rosters and things like that, which is needed to be time of play, pace of play, and all that. And now when you get to the All-Star game, I think that there's things that the commissioner, the Players Association are still going to be digging into. But I think for me, kind of my North Star is the All-Star game should be the game's best players. It's about the fans and what the fans want to see. So for this young kid to be named All-Star, I couldn't be more excited for him. He is thrilled to be here. I'm going to get him in there probably the 5th or the 6th inning, something like that, the 7th. And it's going to be electric. So the fans, the media, you're going to love it. So for me, it's an easy answer because if it brings excitement, attention to our game, then I'm all about it.
Down here.
The All-Star Game was moved out of Atlanta in 21 because of a law that former President Biden described as Jim Crow in the 21st century, and it was framed as a protest. Dave, in the 2021 MLB Network special on Stop Asian Hate, you said, and I quote, "I think it's just being relentless with our voices. This is not something that's just an isolated moment in time that we're talking about. It's something that needs to be talked about on an ongoing basis and be relentless with it." What happened to being relentless with it, and why are we still in Atlanta when this is on books?
It was hard to understand. We were actually talking about that. Can you re-say what you said there?
There is a law on the books here in Atlanta that is a voter suppression law that Joe Biden has called Jim Crow of the 21st century. Dave, in 2021, in the MLB Network special, you said it's about being relentless with our voices and speaking up, and this is not an isolated moment, and it needs to be something talked about on an ongoing basis. And being relentless with it. What happened to being relentless with our voices, and why are we in Atlanta when this law is still on the books? And it is a dangerous situation to be a journalist in Atlanta because Atlanta has detained the most journalists by ICE.
I believe the question was a political question about laws that are on the books and everything like that. And the All-Star game was taken out, and now it's brought back. Interesting. I don't know if any of us are the experts or the ones that should be giving answers on that, but respect and appreciate the way you feel about it. And I would assume that there was a reason or some conversation that was had by the MLB and the state that all parties thought that this would be a wonderful host city for the All-Star game. And I think everybody is all very excited to be back in the beautiful city of Atlanta. I think. I don't want to speak out of pocket for anybody, but I do believe with everything else you're talking about, I don't know if Dave is a lobbyist or Paul is a lobbyist or Tarik or Coach Boone. I think they would be great at it if they decided to be as such. But I think she was talking to you. I don't know if you have, I think so. I believe it was, once again, it was hard to hear. But do you have any thoughts on Atlanta hosting the All-Star game whenever there was obviously some conversations in the past, I believe, right?
I think Pat answered it perfect. And honestly, I appreciate the question. I appreciate your thoughts. I do feel that I'm excited to be here. I think that it's a great city. I think baseball fans are excited to be here and celebrate these great athletes. I'm not a politician. I do feel that everyone has their right to voice thoughts. But right now, I really choose to just focus on the players and the game and be excited to be here. And for me, to be able to manage these guys and to manage against these guys, I'm honored. So I don't want to get into the politics. So, but thank you.
And with that being said, great for sports to showcase Atlanta, and we're lucky and thankful to do it. Down here, sir.
Hey, for Paul and Tarik, with the ABS system being used tomorrow, do you envision you guys making a call for an appeal, and looking back at your short careers so far, are there pitches and games you remember you wish you could have had a computer review?
Start with you, Paul. Tarik, sorry.
Yeah. I know it's going to be implemented. I don't know, is it 2 challenges or is it going to be like unlimited, like spring training? I don't plan on using them. I probably am not going to use them in the future. I'm going to let the catcher do that. I have this thing where I think everything's a strike until the umpire calls it a ball. So with how good guys are behind the plate, Cal's going to be really good behind the plate. So I don't know the strike zone a ton, but I mean, I guess there are some pitches that you think are strikes and you want them back, but I also think it's part of the game, and I love the human element of the game. I think maybe some other guys don't, but yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I don't plan on using it though.
Paul, do you like the thought of a regulated strike zone?
Yeah, I pretty much want to echo what Tarik said. Pitchers think that everything's a strike, and then you go back and look at it, and it's 2-3 balls off. So we should not be the ones that are challenging it. Yeah. I think, I don't know, I really do like the human element of the game. I think this is one of those things that, you kind of think that umpires are great until they're not. So I could kind of care less either way, to be honest.
I love that you guys think terrible pitches are strikes. Respect. Just such an optimistic approach to things. Yep.
I have a question for Tarik and Paul. Hi, Tarik. Which batter are you looking forward to facing the most tomorrow?
Hopefully I only faced 3. That means I did a good job. What was the lineup again? Otani, Acuna.
Shohei, Acuna,
Who's hitting third?
and Martin.
Who's hitting third tomorrow?
Who's in third?
Doc, who's hitting third?
Third, Marte.
Marte. I mean, if I had to pick one, it'd be Shohei. What he does on both sides of the ball is really impressive.
You have a question for Paul, too? Same question.
Yeah, what he said. Hopefully just 3 hitters. I faced 4 last year, and Judge was hitting 4th last year, so I got to face him, but hopefully he's the last one tomorrow, too. But we'll see.
Go ahead.
This is a question for Paul and Tarik. It's not often that you get to look at the success of your season and how it compares league-wide. So I'm just curious, how do you compartmentalize that? And what are mindsets that you're going to take from All-Star Week carrying into second half?
I don't really, the goal to me of baseball is to win and win championships. So, as much as this is an honor and I appreciate this moment and I'm going to, have a good time over the next couple days, my focus is on winning a championship, and that's what the game's about. So I don't really think that I've accomplished much until I win a championship.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to kind of reset. Obviously, the All-Star game is tomorrow, so we have effectively a two-day All-Star break. So hopefully just reset on those 2 days and go into the second half strong. Because it's pretty easy to have a poor second half and then everybody forgets about you starting the All-Star game. So just gotta keep going.
You're in college like 15 months ago. Last question here.
This is for Dave Roberts. Dave, what do you think this All-Star week means for Freddie Freeman being back in Atlanta and being an All-Star?
It's something that I know once they announced it that it was going to be held here, it was marked on his calendar. And then that's kind of, his goal was to get back here and get in front of the Braves faithful that cheered him on for, 11, 12 years. And so he's sleeping in his own bed for a couple nights. Matt Olson, what I just learned is Matt took his old locker, so he doesn't have his old locker. So it's a good move by Matt. So he's a couple lockers down, but he's back in his old clubhouse, and he's excited. And like Paul touched on, it's a reset, couple days, take a bat or two, and enjoy his family, and get ready for the second half.
All right. Well, we appreciate you all so much for coming out. Shout out to you guys coming up here, facing the music. Tough questions from the media, and only more of those to come, and hopefully some celebratory ones as well. The National League player media availability will begin at 2:40, and then the American League will be at 3:35. Today here in the Coca-Cola Roxy Theater should be electrifying. This is an incredible week in the summer. Me and my boys are incredibly lucky to be here. And fellas, thank you for an incredible season thus far. Can't wait to watch you all work, and good luck the rest of the way. Have a great All-Star week here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia.